Hi everybody, Johnny here. I hope you're doing great today. You can find more good math at jmathpage.com. Today we're going to be thinking about multiplying by 8's, and we're going to be using a special method. We're going to be thinking about it in terms of skip counting. You probably have already done this before. Let's see what it looks like when we do 8's. Maybe you've seen this before. 1 times 8, 2 times 8, 3 times 8, 4 times 8, 5 times 8, 6 times 8, 7 times 8, 8 times 8, 9 times 8, and 10 times 8. These are your 8's tables, and you may be trying to memorize them, and that'd be a good thing to do. But let's also think about them a little differently. Let's think about them in terms of skip counting, and that may help us with our multiplication. So in order to do this, I needed a little help, and I'm going to use a tool. You've probably seen this before. Here's a hundreds chart. Now I want to use the hundreds chart to better understand the multiples of 8. So let's look at these numbers over here. If I start with the first one, 1 times 8, I could be thinking about this in terms of skip counting by saying, I want to skip count by 8 one time, or I want to count by 8 one time. So let's do that over here. I'm going to count out 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I've counted out 8 one time, and that gives me, I end up at 8. So 1 times 8 takes me to 8. If I use the same idea of skip counting for the next one, I'm saying that I want to skip count by 8 2 times. Well, I've skip counted by 8 one time. Now I have to add 8 more to skip count a second time, right? So let's count out 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've counted out 8 one time, and I've counted it out a second time. So I've skip counted by 8 2 times, and I've arrived at 16. So I can say that skip counting 8 2 times takes us to 16. What about 3 times 8, or skip counting 8 3 times? Well, I've skip counted once, I've skip counted twice. Now let's add another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I end up at 24. Okay, so if I skip count by 8's 3 times, I'm taken to 24. What about 4 times 8, or 8 skip counted 4 times? 1, 2, 3, let's add another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm taken to 32. So I can say that 8 skip counted 4 times takes us to 32. What about 8 skip counted 5 times? 5 times 8. Let's count. 1 skip, 2 skips, 3 skips, 4 skips. Now let's add another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We end up at 40. So 8 skip counted 5 times, or 5 times 8, takes us to 40. What about 8 skip counted 6 times, or 6 times 8? Well, we've gone 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Let's add again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we've gone 6 times. All right. So we know that 6 times 8, or 8 skip counted 6 times, takes us to 48. What about 7 times 8, or 8 skip counted 7 times? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have to add one more, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're taken to 56 now. So 7 times 8, or 8 skip counted 7 times, takes us to 56. What about 8 times 8, or 8 skip counted 8 times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's count out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 skip counted 8 times, or 8 times 8, takes us to 64. What about 9 times 8, or 8 skip counted 9 times? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's count on the one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so now we know that 9 times 8, or 8 skip counted 9 times, takes us to 72. And the last one, 10 times 8, or 8 skip counted 10 times. Let's count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You probably already knew that it was going to be 80. So now we've been taken all the way to 80. So 10 times 8, or 8 skip counted 10 times, takes us to 80. Let's finish this up to see if there are any other patterns. Let's count on 8 more here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can you predict what the next one will be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I want you to look at the table right now. Do you see any patterns? Do you see any patterns in the columns about which ones are multiples of 8? Do you see anything across the rows too, or in the diagonals? Take a minute to look at it and see if you find any interesting patterns. So skip counting can help us think about multiples of 8. So far we have multiples of 8 that are 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80, 88, and 96. And we've done all the ones, the multiples of 8 through 10. 10 times 8 takes us to 80. Now, I want you to look at the table over here, the hundreds grid. I'm going to take away these numbers here, and I'm going to call out the different number sentences, and then you say aloud what the multiple of 8 should be. Are you ready? Let's take them away first. So goodbye 8 and 16, 24, 32 and 40. Goodbye 48, 56, 64, 72, and 80. Now we have to do some work for ourselves. Are you ready? 1 times 8 equals 2 times 8 equals 3 times 8 equals 4 times 8 equals 5 times 8 equals 6 times 8 equals 7 times 8 equals 8 times 8 equals. 9 times 8 equals. 10 times 8 equals. Now I'm going to mix them up and see what you can do with them. Are you ready? 9 times 8 equals. 2 times 8 equals. 10 times 8 equals. 1 times 8 equals. 8 times 8 equals. 3 times 8 equals. 7 times 8 equals. 4 times 8 equals. 6 times 8 equals. And 5 times 8 equals. Let's go over them again. 1 times 8 equals 8. 2 times 8 equals 16. 3 times 8 equals 24. 4 times 8 equals 32. 5 times 8 equals 40. 6 times 8 equals 48. 7 times 8 equals 56. 8 times 8 equals 64. 9 times 8 equals 72. 10 times 8 equals 80. I hope you did well with this. Now remember, all the multiples of 8 can be found by skip counting. And skip counting is one way to think about multiplication. I hope this was helpful to you.